Being an exotical is a state of mind. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term exotical, that term was created by the Black female empowerment spaces and content creators like Chrissy and I Am Aloho or Mayo's World. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing those names correctly, but they are Black female empowerment YouTube creators who were always discussing topics like colorism, featureism, texturism, which is nothing wrong with those topics, but somehow MLS women, mixed and light-skinned women, became the face of a colorist on those channels. Or I should say, whenever colorism was discussed, the vitriol and the hatred was directed toward mixed and light-skinned women because we were the only ones that they were blaming for colorism or being responsible for colorism. So we became the poster children. So exotical is just simply a term that we took back. Mixed and light-skinned women took back and flipped it around, kind of similar to what the Black community did with the N-word. So now there is an influx of exotical channels on this platform to combat or to counter that colorism argument. So to be an exotical is typically someone who is Black or connected to the Black community or mixed with Black, but they have a 25% or more admixture of something else, maybe Korean or, some kind of a different nationality of Asian, white, Native American, or some other group mixed in with that Blackness. And they typically have looser textured hair, keen features or quote unquote white features, and very light skin. But there are people who are mixed who have Black skin or who are Black passing and look like a typical African American with those same features, keen features and looser textured hair. But being an exotical is not just a hair texture or keen features or skin tone. It's a state of mind. Because only an exotical would know what it feels like to be thrown in and out of Blackness at the Black community's convenience. Only an exotical would know what it feels like to be othered or asked, "What are you?" Only an exotical would know what it feels like to be looked at as if you are different, asked the question, "What are you?" Because typically exoticals have a fluid identity and they could pass for Hispanic or pass for some other group. Nobody quite knows what race you are. And only an exotical would know what it feels like for people to constantly put their hands in your hair to feel around for tracks or extensions because they don't believe that the hair that you have is real. Only an exotical would know how it feels when people stare at you for a second after the music comes on to see if you have rhythm or not. Only an exotical would know if somebody stares at your body type for a couple seconds to see if you have a butt or a figure or any curves or shaped up like a Black woman does, and then make a big deal out of it when they see that you do. Only an exotical would know how it feels to be humbled for no good reason by Black people and called lame or square or girl, you ain't cute or whatever. Not because you said something to lead them to believe that you think you're cute or better than them, but just in case you think you're cute or have an ounce of self-esteem, because we can't let those exoticals have self-esteem now, can we? And only an exotical would know how it feels when you make a huge achievement like college graduation or getting a new job or something good and positive, and no one says anything or reacts because we don't want you getting the big head. You have enough privileges as it is, and your head is big enough and you think you're special anyway, so we don't want you to feel any more special than what you already do. There are so many exoticals all throughout the Black community that don't quite know that they're exoticals and that they're being humbled or that they're being made fun of because they've been taught that it's just jokes. Lighten up, don't be so sensitive. You're light skinned and you have privileges, and so I'm entitled to make fun of you because you have life is easier for you, and than it is for me. You're more accepted by the larger society than I am, and you get paid more, and well, I mean, you get that good old prison sentence, a lesser prison sentence than I do. So yeah, I make fun of you to make myself feel better, and you, out of pity, should just just let me do it, because you ain't nobody special. I mean, you're just a light-skinned privileged person, and it's just jokes. But don't turn around and make jokes about me, because I can't handle it. That wouldn't be right. There are countless mixed and light-skinned men and women who are in the black community who have been socialized as black and who identify as black and have been taught to neglect the other 25% of your admixture, especially if it's white. We've been taught to ignore that part because that's just that was just a result of rape, and that's not something you really want to get to know about yourself anyway. That's not something you want to embrace, because that part of you represents rape and slavery and oppression and all the bad things that have happened in history. So you don't want to embrace that part. You just want to embrace the black part. But the problem is that you don't look black, you don't sound black, you don't have the same hair texture as black people, and they let you know it every single freaking day with the jokes and the remarks and the humbling tactics and the manipulation with the colorism conversations. And don't get me wrong, I know colorism, texturism, featureism is real, it exists, but light-skinned women, mixed and light-skinned women, are not the face of those things. Racism was created by white people, and colorism is a subcategory of that. And black women, black men, dark skin or light, mixed or not, can be guilty of practicing colorism. New exotical channels are emerging every day by men and women who are mixed and light skinned, and our voices are finally being heard. We are discovering new things about ourselves, that we have the courage that we never thought we had to be able to speak up on a large platform like this and be heard. So hopefully now that both sides of the colorism conversation is finally being heard, maybe people can listen to both sides and we can affect real change. But one thing is for sure, us MLS women are not going anywhere. And what doesn't kill us can only make us stronger.